Hey, what's up, SEO pros? Big news! I recently discovered SEO Nitro, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. In just days, I saw incredible results that blew my mind. With SEO Nitro, you can get links from thousands of different C-block IPs, with most powerful links at a fraction of the cost. Patent software lets you control your entire backlink profile in minutes. Add, remove, and change links at any time. Protect your site from Google's changes with SEO Nitro's revolutionary backlinking software. Imagine having the power to have laser-targeted themed backlinks, automated link spinning, set it and forget it. Thousands of stellar sites and manual and automated posting options. SEO Nitro is the ultimate SEO weapon. Head on to SEONitro.com now to revolutionize your SEO game. Don't miss out on page 1. It's just click away. Hey, what's up everyone? Happy Friday. I'm here with Chris, and today we'll be talking about how to pitch your story. I believe what was it called? It was called Harrow before, right? It was called Harrow, and now it's called Connectively.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, we will be having our own Harrow masterclass. Now I've totally forgot what the new name was. Connectively. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got less than 5 minutes to go. We see Christopher already in the back. We got a lot of things to cover. Got a lot of great questions, so make sure to get your questions ready if you want to learn more about link building, and especially with Harrow / Connectively. And this week, believe it or not, there was not that many SEO videos posted, so I couldn't find any clips to share with you guys this week. But hey, you know, I don't want to force it and just kind of give you garbage SEO tips, so I want to make sure we can get straight to our main focus of the content today on how to pitch your story to get backlinks. So we got about 4.5 more minutes to go, but before that, don't be shy, guys. Say hi in the live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me see if we have anyone here. So Chris, where are you located? You're located somewhere in the UK or like?
Yeah, I'm in the UK. Yeah, I got back from Thailand about a month ago. I was out there for about a year and a half. So.
Oh wait, where were you?
In Thailand.
Oh, Thailand, nice. How'd you like it out there?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Great weather, and now I'm back to it's raining. It's been raining all day today.
Oh man. I mean, was there something particular? You're out there for a year and a half where you like had business, or you just kind of like half business, half vacation for a year and a half?
I went out for the first time, about a year and a half ago for an SEO conference.
Oh, okay.
I met someone, and so it's been like going back, and then stayed there for a long period of time, and then we got married.
There you go. Within that year and a half.
Yeah, good journey. Yeah. It's been awesome. Yeah.
Is your partner back with you now in the UK?
Yeah, she is. Yeah. 38 degrees in Thailand, and I think we're at 9 degrees we were today. So big change.
All right. So I saw you actually just launched your new podcast. Was it called Market Movers or?
That's it. Yeah. Just yesterday. Yeah, we had our first episode go out.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to check it out, but I was trying to grab some snippets of you, and I was like, oh, hey, you just launched a new podcast. We can talk about it later on today too. I'd love to hear what's going on.
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah. How's things going for you?
Good. It's really hot where I'm at. I'm here in California, so it's about 80 degrees.
Nice.
So 78 to 80 degrees. So some good stuff.
Nice.
I see a few people leaving comments, but I don't see your comments coming on the screen. But I see Kobe, my man, welcome. Let's see, Stefan, I see you. So I want to make sure I can get our viewers' comments on the screen, so I don't have to keep looking back. Let me try to fix this here. I'm not sure why it's not coming on.
Are they going to be on this screen?
Yeah, they're supposed to show up here on the screen that we're looking at right now. On the bottom, it's supposed to show up like right where it says topic. But for some reason, they're not coming in. So I want to make sure. Oh yeah, guys, there we go. We got him coming in. There we go. We got Logan, my man. Hi, guys. Usually my guests in the UK are drinking a beer right now when they come out. It's because they use a little later.
Not just yet. We're still on work time.
Are you? Wait, what time is it right now? Is it
nearly 8 o'clock?
Oh, that's not work time. You're way past work time.
I suppose it is a Friday.
Yeah,
maybe later. What time is it there for you guys?
It's about to be noon. It's about in about 1 minute. Yo, Ernesto. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put you on mute real quick, and while I put the intro and everything like that. But then again, so normally I go through some videos, but I couldn't find anything. I don't want to just force videos this week, so I'm gonna go straight into our conversation. I'll introduce you right in. All right, brother. I'll see you in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, hey, time to get it started, no delay, let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre de Vera, steady dropping knowledge, over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO, you will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go, subscribe to the SEO video show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO video show where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul Andre de Vera, aka Dre, and I cured SEO videos released within the past week into about 1 minute clips. And I just had a brain fart, guys. Sorry about that. But before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone chat here. Ernesto, Logan, Stefan, Kobe, Lucy. Welcome everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, why do SEOs love the farmer's market? Lots of organic content.
So, Google posted improvements to debugging traffic drops documentation. They expanded their efforts of the algorithmic updates and how to identify them. Simplified the section on the policy and manual actions to be about spam issues. Why did they do this? To better help site owners identify reasons for traffic drops. I know many of you were affected by the recent updates, so be sure to check out this documentation. All right. I couldn't find any video clips worth cutting this week, surprisingly. It's for real. It's been like over 4 years, almost 4 years now, and I didn't find it. So we're going to get started to our interview. But before we introduce our guest, here's a word from our sponsor. Are you struggling to get high authority backlinks? My buddy Vera has a perfect solution for you.
How much do you think this digital PR campaign is worth? Wait just 1 minute before you answer. Watch as we hijack the news with Taylor Swift and Barbie to get you the links. Now, we can take this dataset from ONS and paste it right into your emails to get you the links. Now, how much do you think this campaign is worth? Don't answer! Wait until you see Bloomberg, BBC, Forbes, top-tier national and regional news outlets, reactive PR, data PR, expert commentary, over 70 team members at your disposal. This product is so hot, I need a fan! And then, listen to what campaigns we do at no extra charge. Gain character wages, bananas and sleep, best dates for dogs, luckiest UK areas, and many more. All for just how much did you guess? 10,000? 20,000? Even more? No! It's just £5,500. That's right. It's $5,500. It's an incredible value, but it's true. It's digital PR from Search Intelligence. Order today. P.O. Box, searchintelligence.co.uk. Except B2B clients.
Chris is the co-founder of Linkify, a leading PR and link building agency that offers premium done-for-you services. He focuses on affiliate, authority, niche, SaaS, and other online web properties. He helps clients vastly improve their domain rating, traffic, EEAT, and SERP positioning by securing the best links on the web. He just launched the Market Movers podcast. Please welcome Chris. Chris Panteli.
Chris, my man, welcome to the show.
Best podcast intro ever. Thank you, Paul.
Love it, love it, love it. Everyone, let's give a round of applause. All right, Chris, we're going to get right into it. This is the first question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. In 1 minute or less, how does Chris get ranking on page 1 of Google?
Content and links. 10 seconds.
Love it, love it. There we go. First knowledge bomb of today. Let me rewind this quick. Hold on. All right, take us way back. Take us way back to when did you first get into SEO?
Oh, man. It was about coming up for 4.5 years ago now. And I was coming across the blog income reports that you see. So people making tens of thousands of dollars a month and not paying for traffic. So getting free organic traffic from Google and either with display ads or affiliate links, making a boatload of cash. So that instantly got me interested. So I started building my first affiliate site. It was a personal finance site. And then that's how I got into SEO and then more specifically sort of super high value backlinks.
Love that. Love that. So what part of SEO, so I'm assuming that, making some awesome money was able to, from these websites got you really, really interested. So, but how'd you actually learn it then?
So number of resources. Obviously, YouTube's a great place to start. I did some really good early blogging courses. A guy called Mike Fatua, who has Stupid Simple SEO. That was a really, really good place to start. Authority Hackers podcast, following people on Twitter. Like Charles Flo, and just basically just implementing and testing. So I've always been good at that. And I think that obviously that's the key to SEO, isn't it? You do something, it doesn't work. You try and do something else and you see if it does work. So as long as you're not scared to test and fail, eventually something clicks. And then when it works, just double down, double down, double down. That was my strategy in the early days.
Love that. Love that. Okay. So fast forward to today. How did, Linkify come about? And then now take us, the journey to even launching Market Movers.
Okay, so I had this personal finance website. This was back just before the pandemic. I was at that time running a fish and chip shop, but I had this personal finance site and it was doing well. It was like $1,000 a month. And I wanted to start outsourcing some stuff. So I wanted to hire someone to do some guest post link building for me. I already had the Harrow sorted. I'd landed some awesome links myself, just pitching journalists as like a finance expert. My degree was in economics, so I just positioned myself as a finance expert. But I wanted to sort of get some guest post links, some inner page links, and try and get some of the higher converting pages ranking. So I found somebody and asked him if he could run a campaign for me. And he was like, yeah, sure. He was really good. And then he looked at my backlink profile and he was like, hey, how did you get these links from like New York Times, Forbes, BBC? And I was like, this is like Harrow, PR request, pitching journalists directly. And he was like, man, that is awesome. Do you think you could get some of those links from my clients? And I was like, yeah, I don't see why not. Like, as long as they give me permission to sort of be creative and pitch as them. So we did that. Then we just saw a real organic demand for that. Like, people wanted this because it's so time consuming and you've got to sort of get good at it, learn the domains that are worth pitching, the ones that aren't worth pitching. And then, we saw that there was a real need for this as a service. And that's when we decided to start the agency Linkify together. And then we're now like 3 years in, and the podcast as well. So
love that. So wait, how did you learn how to pitch Harrow? Was that something that you've actually kind of knew it was a tactic, or you guys naturally knew about Harrow and you were just pitching away? How'd you actually get into knowing about that?
How to do it? Yeah. Trial and error. I think I pitched for about 6 months every day without winning a single link. And I was just changing the format. I remember I was putting when I first started, I was putting like links to my own sort of inner pages on my website to see if the journalist would link to that, which, there's no way they're going to do that. They're just looking to source an expert. So this is just stuff that I learned. I asked for feedback from some journalists if they replied and said, thanks for the pitch. Unfortunately, we're not going to go with this particular quote this time. Some journalists would be kind enough to give feedback. So that was super helpful. And yeah, like I said, I think it was about 6 months. I won my first link on I think it was the New York Times. It was a huge link. And I just looked back at what I'd put in that pitch and then had a brainwave where I thought, I have pitched hundreds that I've lost, but I know the publication that I pitched. I know the journalist's name that was requesting the information, and I know sort of the title of the article. So I'd go back and look at the articles that were published without my expert commentary and look at what they did include. And then I could sort of back engineer and see what the sorts of quotes, the language they were using, the stories that they were telling that meant that they won the pitch from the journalist.
Excellent!
Love that. We have our friend Doug in the live chat. What's up, guys? Hope you're both well. What's up? How you doing? And guys, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the live chat. Comments, questions, all welcome while we're having our conversation here. So I want to get right into it. So can you start off by giving a brief overview of what Harrow was and now how it has transitioned to the whole new Connectively? I mean, like, is it the same? Kind of like walk us through that.
No, it's not the same.
Oh.
So Harrow was started by Peter Shankman about 15 years ago, and then it got acquired by Sission after a period of time. And they kept it in the exact same format that it was originally in, which is what we've all become accustomed to. So anyone familiar with like PR requests, I say Harrow is more of an umbrella term for PR requests because it's the biggest, most recognized platform. So fundamentally, a PR request is when a journalist is asking for sources to give expert commentary so that they can enhance their article. So they might be writing a finance piece and they're looking for a finance expert to give 1 or 2 lines, a quote that's going to enhance, support, bolster, improve the article that they're actively working on. And Harrow was the biggest platform that facilitated this particular transaction of engagement between journalists and people and experts that wanted to pitch and have their comments featured in high tier media publications. And the way that it was done was emails. 3 times a day you would receive an email, Monday to Friday, and it would collate all of these requests, and it would just give you a brief title of what they were looking for, and then you'd get some instructions and details on the query, which would normally be a handful of questions that the journalist was asking. And we all got really used to that, and it was like that for the best part of 15 years. And then all of a sudden they've changed over to a platform called Connectively, which is completely housed in a single dashboard, and not many people on both sides, I think, are enjoying this new way of engaging with PR requests. It's a bit clunky. It's not terrible. It's going to take a bit of getting used to because we've become accustomed to waiting for these emails 3 times a day and then scouring through the emails and then finding which ones you're suitable for and then creating the pitches and sending them off. Whereas now you need to log into the dashboard. The queries are coming in continuously. As soon as they're approved by the system, the queries are available. And then once you're in the system and you like a query, you write your pitch within that dashboard, and then you just hit send. And it's also one of the biggest things. It's turned into a pay-to-play model. So the traditional Harrow emails were completely free, and now on this new platform, it's I think you get 5 free pitches per month, and then above and beyond that, you're paying for either a monthly subscription or you can buy individual pitch packs as well. So it's been a bit of a big change, but there's still great opportunities. Although there is an interesting development in this scene, which I'll talk about that towards the end. I think one of your questions might lead to.
All right. Love that. So I'm curious too, because I mean, is Harrow something the only kind of platform you use? Are there other platforms out there that you play with? Or Harrow, or I mean, Connectively now. I mean, but is there any other like competition that they can kind of apply the same thing that we'll be talking about in our conversation?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, one of the most the biggest sort of free place that you will see journalists requesting expert commentary is on Twitter. So, a great way to find specific publications and journalists that you want to like be featured in. Like if you're in a particular niche and there's a handful of big domains, if you look for those journalists that are writing content for those websites and follow those journalists on Twitter, oftentimes they'll be posting PR requests on Twitter. There's some free tools that aggregate all of the Twitter PR requests. They use hashtag PR request or hashtag journo request. Those are the two main hashtags. So there's a couple of free and a few paid platforms that will aggregate those tweets automatically and put those either in an email to you in real time or a few times a day to sort of mimic that Harrow feel. And then there's other paid platforms like Quoted, which is another good one. Press Plugs, which is a more UK centric one. And then there's a number of other ones as well. But I mean, we're in these day in, day out. And I'll be honest with you, most of the queries that you're seeing on Connectively or Harrow or getting posted on Twitter are the same that are on all the other platforms as well. So I'd pick one platform and start there and get used to it.
Love that tip. So what were the hashtags again that PR people are using? Is it, you said PR request, hashtag PR?
Yeah, hashtag PR request or hashtag journo request.
Love that. Love that. Did not know that. Great tip right there. Okay, so I'm curious now, like, I mean, you knew about link building, and how does the, Connectively or even some of these platforms that you're talking about, but we'll talk about Connectively here, compared to other link building strategies, like in terms of like effectiveness and reliability. I mean, obviously you're getting on big sites, right? So I'm like, have they been sticking there? I mean, have you been seeing the results like come up really well?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's part of it should be part of a holistic link building strategy, obviously depending on your risk tolerance. So for us, I mean, we know 99.9% of links built via PR requests are going to be homepage links. So it's a domain authority building play. Obviously, these are earned media links, so there's no exchange of payment, and these links are almost 100% safe because they're on huge publications. So if you're going to have a toxic link, or if Google's ever going to devalue your link profile, it's going to be based on where you're getting the links from. And Google's never going to devalue New York Times, Forbes, BBC. Therefore, these links that you get are safe. And actually, because these news publications are churning out so much content, we see almost zero drops. So if you get a link, they're there for years to come. I mean, it just doesn't make sense for a huge publication to go back and like remove a link from a news story when they're pumping out 100 news articles a day in news. So we see it fundamentally as an authority building play. So you're going to be building your DR, your DA, your domain authority, also your EEAT as well. And then that's going to enhance all of your other on-page SEO efforts, your off-page SEO efforts. And then if you're also engaging in slightly riskier link building as well, it's going to power that up as well. So if you've got money pages, or if you're doing, if you're linking, do tiered link building or anything like that, then the higher your domain authority, the more it's going to enhance all of those efforts.
Love that. So that's what's very interesting too, because like when you do this type of PR play, the links pretty much stick. But if you do like actual like press releases and syndication, those don't tend to stick. I mean, is that something that you play with as well? Like actually sending out PR press releases, and has that ever helped get stories?
Those sort of like generic PR press release services where like they give you a list of the domains it's going to be featured on. I don't think there's any value in that. If you're doing real PR, which we do as well, running pure digital PR campaigns where you're creating the story and reaching out to the journalist, those tend to stick because it's exactly the same as the PR request. It's the journalist that's either writing a story and looking for experts, or they're looking for stories and therefore they're looking for genuine PR firms like ours that are sending out campaigns. So I think it's weird because the sort of the language around it is so similar. Like a press release traditionally is what a PR firm will send, like Ferry as well, who I was just at a conference with recently. I can see his sponsor there. The same sort of thing that Ferry does that we do. It's not like a press release in the sense that you're seeing one of these press release services where you pay a certain amount and then you just get a syndicated article onto like 100 domains with zero value. This is real PR where you're crafting a story based on what's trending in the news, and you're reaching out to hundreds of journalists that have covered stories similar to that in the past and therefore want to run with your story. And those articles, they stay, they live, and they get picked up by other publications as well.
Love that. Love that. Okay, now I want you kind of like, you're talking about like for the stories that you're creating for your client. I'd love for you to share like a case study or an example where you were able to use Connectively, to benefit like one of your clients. Like, can you share like one of the stories and like how, like kind of like the process?
Yeah, so I mean, we've just done a case study video for our YouTube, which I posted today actually.
Okay.
So I'll talk about that one.
Okay.
It's fresh in the brain. So yeah, this was like a psychology company that was looking for renting spaces for psychologists. So quite an interesting business, and we actually were able to put them into our expert quote packages, so pitch for them on these platforms. And the guy representing the company is a qualified psychologist, which was perfect. You can get around it if you've got a company in a space like that and you haven't got an expert. You can source an expert and pitch as that expert, but in this particular case, this guy was actually a psychologist, so it was perfect. And then we were able to build them a shit ton of like awesome links, absolutely fantastic health related backlinks on some huge publications. We did a 3-month campaign for them. We built, I can't remember specifically, but it was a lot of links, and we doubled their organic traffic in the space of the 3-month campaign. And these keywords are sort of really high converting keywords. So it's people, this guy wants people to land on these pages from these keywords because that's what's making him money. So super successful. And all we did was build expert quote links via Connectively and other press request platforms.
So expert quote links. So that's how does that work? So you're just pretty much providing links for journalists, and they're just linking back to his website. Is like how's that?
No, we're just pitching as him and providing the quote as the expert. So
okay.
Yeah. So basically, the difference between expert quote link building, which, like I said, Harrow's the umbrella term for these sorts of press requests, expert quotes. It's when the journalist is looking for an expert, either via Harrow or the other platform. Got it. Okay. This guy was a psychologist. And then
you're just responding to questions as him, and then they love that. Okay, so now let's get into the technical part of it. Like, what were some of the ways that you craft the query on Connectively that gets the high quality responses?
Well, we've tested with this as well, and actually, we're on the other side of Connectively as well. Just recently, just to see what other people are pitching, and to be honest with you, there's some absolute garbage that gets sent in from people. So I genuinely still think this. I did the Dubai SEO conference a few months ago. I think it's a golden age still, even with AI. So basically everybody on the planet and their mom and everybody can send expert quote pitches now, because you can just produce the content with AI and send it to the journalist. But that means that you can quite easily stand out with a good pitch, and it's just some simple criteria. Actually be an expert and tell the journalist within your pitch straight away who you are, and be really clearly, give them some clear visibility to be able to find you and verify that information, be it a LinkedIn profile or some form of social proof that you are not just a spam bot AI computer writing a pitch. And if you can see that straight at the top, and then you also give a really good, well-written, well-researched pitch that doesn't scream like it's been written with AI, you've got a huge chance of winning that link. And we are still getting PR requests from huge publications. We won a client a Healthline link just last week. I mean, Healthline is the website you want to be featured on if you've got a website in the health space. Do follow as well. And these publications are still sourcing experts, and there are plenty of opportunities to win unbelievably good links if you just don't spam the system. Make sure you're an expert and give a quality, well-researched, thoughtful pitch back to the journalist.
Love that. So I'm curious, do journalists remember like you, and did they ever reach back out to you? Like, kind of, does it work like kind of the other way around? Like, hey, I have this another story coming up. Can you provide another opinion? Does it work that way?
Yeah. Paul, that's a great insight. And that's actually happening more and more. And you can leverage that in a number of different ways, which is really, really interesting. So first of all, I think journalists are getting a little bit frustrated with the amount of spam that they're receiving. So they're busy anyway. And then when they do a request and they get 500 responses and half of them are AI, and they're asking for a health expert and somebody says, I'm a marketing expert that owns an SEO agency in the Philippines. Like it's annoying for them. It's time consuming. So they are actually, and I've seen a huge increase in this in recent months, they are utilizing previously used sources, which is really interesting. And you should definitely, if you're doing this as an individual, like keep responding to those sources, because that's just going to keep sending Google good signals. Like if you get a link from Healthline and then that journalist comes back to you and says, can you provide another quote? Who doesn't want 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 30 links from Healthline? It's just going to solidify your like algorithmic standing with Google, that this huge website is linking to you multiple times. What you can also do is you can, if you're getting these direct requests back from journalists that have previously featured your commentary, you can try and leverage your own personal network. So for example, if you're in the health space and you've got a friend that also is a health expert, you could say to the journalist, I'm actually a bit busy this week, but I do have a friend who's very well qualified. Would I be able to pass him your information or pass him the quote and get him to give you a comment on it? And then you can ask this person to give you something back for what you've given to them. So yeah, that's working quite well as well now.
Love that. I love that. Okay. So are there like any features that you feel and connectively that can be leveraged better for link building? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's maybe like courses out there just to do do things. But I mean, is there certain things that part of Harrow or connectively that you're doing that, people are not really doing themselves?
I think the biggest thing is to, and this takes time. We've got a free resource where you can look at, we've got a free blacklist of domains. I think this is the key. You essentially don't want to be pitching the crap domain. So on there, you'll get a handful of you'll get a fair number of domains which are which will never or have never linked. So we know which those domains are because we've pitched them 1,000 times and then blacklisted them because we know they never link. And we've exhausted all options to get the link. So as part of our process, if we get an unlinked mention from a good publication, we will then go back to the journalist. We will then go to the editorial department of the website. We may even go to like the complaints department, and we'll keep trying to say, put us a link in. We gave you a quote. We deserve a link. Give us a link. Yeah. If we've exhausted all avenues, and we've tried multiple times, we'll then blacklist that domain. And now it's gone to a pay-to-play model, and if you're doing only the 5 free pitches per month, you don't want to waste your 5 of your free pitches on 5 domains which we know never ever link. So you do need to sort of get an understanding, first of all, of good domains. And obviously the easiest way to do that is high DR, high organic traffic. It's not a perfect system, but if it's a really high DR and a really high organic traffic, then it's a good chance it's a real good domain. You also know a lot of them just by if they're a household name. If you see New York Times, go for that. That's a good domain. If you see Forbes, go for that. That's a good domain. If you see BBC, go for that. But then you also get some scams happening from the other side. So that will be people posting a request saying, hey, I'm looking for an expert, a fitness expert for an article on this X, Y, and Z website. You may never have heard of the website. You have a look in Ahrefs and it's a DR 80 with 500,000 traffic. And you think, okay, that looks great. That, the website looks good. I'm looking for its top ranking keywords. I can't see any alarm bells. You'll pitch that request, and we do this for clients. So we may have pitched for 2 or 3 of our fitness clients. Then you'll get an email back saying exactly the same email to all 3 clients saying, hey, I'm sorry, we're full for comments for this particular article. But if you link to this website for us, we'll give you a link from another website. So they're basically running 3-way link exchanges via the platform. So you need to know those domains as well. Interesting.
But that's an interesting concept. If you think about it, if you're that person and you do like because it kind of like whole link exchange, just have that one person setting things up. Interesting stuff there. But so I'm curious then, like when it comes to like responses in Connectively, do you have any tips on the timing of submissions for getting the most out of it?
Don't be too quick, because if you're, we don't in any way say you shouldn't use AI. You should, absolutely. It speeds everything up. It's an absolute, it's a powerful technology, but you don't want to just use it in like a vanilla fashion. Don't just take the journalist questions, put them in AI, get an answer and send it back. First of all, journalists are professional writers by trade, so they don't even need to use a tool to test it. They can smell it. Like they can smell the AI answers. So, and if you've sent a response in 1.5 minutes after they posted it, then they're probably not even going to read it.
Oh, interesting.
I also wouldn't. Yeah, I also we interview. We have a course where we teach some of this, and we interviewed a couple of big journalists, one for the New York Times, one for Forbes, I think. And one of the interesting things that they both told us was pitch when you've written a good pitch. Send it in when you've written a good pitch. The earlier the better in most cases. So as long as it's not within the first 1 minute and 30 seconds, if you can get it in, an hour or two after they've sent the request. Then that's ideal. The second most ideal time is maybe 6 to 8 hours before their deadline, because what journalists will often do is they'll go and look at all their emails to see the good responses that have come in. They'll start working on their article. And if they think that they need another 1 or 2 quotes, they'll go back just before the end of their deadline to see if anything else good has come in.
Oh, love that one. And it makes sense, right? Because I know when it comes to deadline, we all somewhat like get alerted, kind of blood pressure's up, like, oh no, did I do this right? And then and finding that coming in at that moment, I feel like is a great way to get in there too. Awesome tip right there. So, okay, I want to see like, so what do you feel are some of the mistakes that you people when using connectively? I know you mentioned like the having that blacklist is a good thing, so you don't keep on pitching those. And wait, back before we get to your answer, like where can people find that blacklist of domains? Is it on your site or?
I think it's
or do you give it out?
Google Chrome store.
Oh, okay. So
it's a Chrome extension that we did.
Chrome extension. Yeah. Okay. So all right. There you go. Yeah. Go to Chrome. Go to Chrome extension. Love that. Okay. So back to other mistakes to avoid. Like, is there anything else that we should be aware of?
Yeah, so the biggest mistake that people make when pitching PR requests on Connectively or any other platform is not reading the journalist's requirements. So this is absolutely vital, and they will often even use their requirements as some form of like Easter egg within their actual pitches, because they want to weed out the crap. So they may even say something simple like, make sure you list the subject line as So read every single requirement. They may say you must be US based, and provide us with a LinkedIn URL. And if you're from England and your LinkedIn URL in your profile says you live in London and you've pitched a US only in the requirements, it's just a way for them to delete and get exactly what they want. So read the requirements before you do the pitch. That's my biggest piece of advice. And it will save you so much hassle and heartache, especially when you get a response from like a grade A journalist on a massive publication and they say, I've read your quote, everything's great, but can you just confirm, are you actually US based? Because your LinkedIn profile says that you're in London. And you go, oh God, you can try and blag it. One thing you can do there is say, I spend half my time in the year in London and the other half in the US, but by this point you may have lost it. So just read the requirements, save yourself the heartache.
Love that. Awesome tips you're dropping here. A lot of knowledge bombs are being dropped here. So let's get into like how do you integrate like Connectively to like to other campaigns into your broader like digital marketing strategy?
Well, I mean, we run both. So if we have a client that just purchases an expert quote package from us, then we're pitching expert quotes from Connectively and other press request platforms. If we're running digital PR for a client, then we'll supplement that campaign with these requests, depending on the client, depending on their expertise, and depending on their trust in us to be able to pitch, creatively and with freedom for them. But yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. And then the two work hand in hand as well. So we'll often be pitching clients on the press request services, and maybe we'll get a reply back from a journalist saying, hey, this is great. Thank you so much for this. I'm actually working on a story. Do you have any other experts that you could source for this? And we may be running a PR campaign for someone, and this client's in a really interesting space that's relevant to that journalist. And so the two work really well hand in hand, because journalists are hungry for content and stories, and we have experts that can provide information which makes their stories better and more interesting for their readers.
Love that. Okay, so any guys in the live chat, please, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them while I'm asking my questions here, so we can get more get you guys, seeing if you guys have any questions that you want answered. But when it comes to measuring success, like how are you, like what are some indicators that you are measuring to success of your like connective lead campaigns?
Yeah, so like I said, we're looking to bolster the domain authority, and then with that, we would like to see obviously an increase in number of keywords ranking, organic traffic. We're not tracking individual keywords because we're not building any inner page links; it's all homepage links. So we'd like to see either a site stay stable through an update. That's a great thing for us to see for clients because that's one of the benefits of this sort of link building. It's not just about, I've got this money page ranking for best VPNs. I need 1 billion links to go to this page because otherwise it's never going to rank. But what we like to see is, a healthier and stronger authority of the website. And that can be an increase in DR, which again, isn't a perfect metric, but it's a good place to see whether or not we're building that fortress for that particular website. And then as well, if we can see clients obviously are going to reorder with us if they've stayed safe through updates or through Google turbulences, but also if they're seeing obviously we have many clients whose traffic just goes really, really nicely up. And maybe this is the only link building that they're doing as well. So they're producing great content and they're just doing pure white hat digital PR link building. So they feel really safe that they're building these great links, they're growing their authority, and then maybe they're investing really, investing budget in solid on page. They're doing a really solid internal linking strategy as well. They've got great content, they're producing at a good velocity, and all of that just obviously amplifies those efforts. So when you have that perfect balance between link building and everything else, then you see the nice trajectories, and we see that time and time again as well.
Love that. And before, there's a question in the audience, but I want to kind of like, before we go to that question, I want to kind of have a follow-up question to that. Like, are you using any tools or any techniques to kind of keep track of all this, for your clients? Or are you just kind of just using like a general like Ahrefs or something like that?
In terms of tracking the links, or just the agency tools to track campaigns? Everything. Okay, so we use Notion, we use Airtable, ClickUp, too many tools. We use, and then on tracking, we do basically 3 things. I've shared this before. It's all free and it's super simple. We use Talkwalker, which is a free alert tool, which is basically the same as Google Alerts. We use both in order to not miss stuff. And then we also do a manual Google search, a Google syntax search on a weekly basis. And we use the tools, and we set on the Google search feature, you can go tools and set the time frame for last 7 days, I think, or previous week. And then in there, we'll use a syntax search on the client name, the expert name that we're pitching as. So if it was me, Chris Panteli, open quotation, Chris Panteli, close quotation, search that, and then look through the actual Google results for the last 7 days to see if we can see anything that's not been picked up from Talkwalker or Google Alerts. And then also the brand name as well. So if it was Chris Panteli Linkify, we'd have open brackets, Linkify, close brackets, Linkify, search that last 7 days. We do that once a week as well. And even then, every now and again, I'll do like a monthly search, because if the Talkwalker misses it, and if the Google Alerts misses it, and if we do a syntax search on the client name and the brand name, if the page gets indexed like 9 days later, let's say, or for some reason it just didn't get picked up, you can miss links. And every now and again, I'll do like a monthly search, and that's really fun because I'll sit down and I'll find like maybe 10, 15 links for clients on awesome websites that just would have got lost in the ether or if we didn't find them.
Love that. Thank you for sharing those tips right there. So let's go to our first question from the audience. It's from Puppet Brush. Do we always use the client-based emails for the pitches, or do we use an agency email?
It all depends. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer for this. I think it depends on a number of different factors. So, if you're going to use an agency email, you've got to position yourself as a PR agency. You've got to make sure that you're presenting your client as the expert, and that you are the representative of that client. And then if you're pitching as the client, then you need to make sure that you're using a client-based email, or at least an email which clearly identifies the client, if that makes sense. So you can just get them to set you up an email on their domain. If they run a website in gardening, howtogarden.com, and they're called Paul, then make sure you get an email, paul@howtogarden.com. If that's taken, just get Paul _ something, and then use that email, use the POP3 and manage that within a Gmail box. It depends. If you're an agency and you've got 3 or 4 clients or 5 clients that you're doing this for, then just use a client email. If it starts getting more clients and you're doing more pitching, then maybe use an agency email. It also depends on the platform as well. Some platforms are much more responsive to PRs. So we also use like Press Plugs, like I said, which is more of a UK centric PR request platform on some of the big UK based publications, and they're much more receptive to being pitched as a PR than like individual clients. So it depends.
Love that tip. Hopefully that answers your question there. Pepper. Is it? Or Pepper brush. Pepper brush. All right. Okay, so going back to, I want to go into some more best practices now. I mean, we talked about like a lot of great stuff here, and I mean, a lot of great tips. I gotta write this all down later on. But in your view, what are some of the best practices for maintaining a high standard professionalism when interacting on Connectively?
Well, that's a good question. So, read the journalist requirements. Make sure that you are answering the questions, and make sure you are legitimate enough to answer the question, but you need to push it within reason. Let me explain that. So if you're a gardener, let's say a gardening expert, and you have some gardening queries and they're looking for a gardening expert, then that's really easy to sort of identify the query that's looking for a gardening expert, and you go, okay, I'm a gardening expert, I can answer that query. And then as long as you read the requirements and you do a good pitch and it doesn't scream AI at the journalist, then you've ticked all the boxes of maintaining a high professional standard. And there's absolutely no reason why that journalist shouldn't not use your pitch, but shouldn't in any way be offended by that pitch or want to hit the report button on whatever platform you're on. So, but that's quite easy. If you're in a trickier niche, so something a bit more narrowed down, then you do need to widen your options as much as possible within reason. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to answer any queries and win any links. But the way to do this, you need to do it in a logical way. So one way we do this quite well is we'll often see interior design queries, and we have a number of real estate clients. So if the query is asking for like an interior design expert, then there isn't really any reason why a real estate expert wouldn't also have some sort of interior design expertise as well. Maybe they've done some home staging in the past alongside their real estate business. So if you can position it in a logical way, it's going to give you more opportunities, but also keep you on the safe side of being professional. Got it.
Love that. So, and then also, I'm unfamiliar with this process. Like I've heard about Harrow and Connectively, but I don't know how it exchanges. So is it like you get you have the query, then you have your pitch, and then then you get accepted. So the journalist will come back to you and say, okay, let me use it. Or like, is there any more to kind of like chatter between each other on that time before it gets actually posted?
Yeah, I mean it all depends. So you'll see the query on the platform on Connectively. You'll see the query looking for a gardening expert to answer some questions on the best time of year to plant tulips. You'll click on the query. You'll see the specific details of the query. Maybe it'll say, what month of the year is the best time to plant tulips? Do tulips like cold weather? What is the best color of tulip, and what's the best soil to use when planting tulips? So you'll see these 4 questions. You'll go in, you'll write your answers, and then you'll hit pitch, and then the pitch will be sent. Then it depends. You will either in a week or a month or 6 months time, you'll get a Google alert saying you've just been featured in gardeningworld.com, and you'll go, oh, awesome. Man, that was fucking ages ago. Or the next day, you'll get an email directly from the journalist saying, absolutely fantastic comments. Can you just clarify this one question for me? Or maybe a month later, you'll get a response, an email from the journalist saying, I've got some follow-up questions. So it all depends. It could be any number of possibilities.
Interesting. So yeah, that's an interesting one where someone will not even respond, but they actually used your quote. Like 6 months later, you see it.
Many. That's the norm actually. So
So they won't even respond.
Yeah,
They just end up using it. They won't even tell you they used it.
Yeah. Most journalists don't respond at all. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing that. All right. So, Pepper Brush asks again, what is the best place to source for experts?
Good question. Okay, so industry, depending on your industry, one of the easiest ways is just to go to some large industry publications. So if you're in the finance space, go to some large finance publications like investopedia.com and look through their writers. Many writers, most writers are freelance writers as well. So they are available for opportunities for work. You don't want someone too high tier because the chances of them letting you pitch as them is a bit lower, but you also don't want someone who's got no expertise. So it's finding the sweet spot of finding someone that you can ask to produce some content for your website. It's probably not going to be cheap because they are going to be highly qualified, well credentialed and experienced, but you can find them, and that's the best place to start because many of them are freelance writers and obviously they want to earn money, and if you're going to provide them with an opportunity, then they're going to be interested. You don't need to go crazy and hire them on a retainer or anything. You can just get, a handful of pieces of content produced, but you do need to be explicitly clear in the terms that you want to get from them. So you want to say, we need this content for our website written by you under your byline. We need your author profile. We're going to put you on the website on the about page. We also want to be able to pitch as you and win some high quality backlinks from big publications. Then you need to be a salesman. You need to sell that as why it's good. So first and foremost, you need to tell them that everything that you produce will shine them in a good light. You won't make anything up. It'll be well researched. And the information that you're going to provide isn't going to give them any cause for concern. And then second, the benefit to them is for their freelance writing career that they can add additional huge places that their words have been featured.
Oh man, see, this is why I love questions from the audience, because these are questions I totally missed. And great question, great answer, guys. Love that. And so I want to go into more of I'm coming down to my last few questions here. So how do you see the role of platforms like Connectively evolving in the link building and PR landscape over the next few years? I mean, we already seen Harrow kind of like evolve into Connectively. Do you think there's anything that's going to change more, or you feel it's going to kind of stick to the same thing for the next few years to come?
Yeah, well, I mean, to come back for what I told you earlier, there's already been an interesting development in this space. So
okay. There we go.
Yeah, Peter Shankman, who launched Harrow about 15 years ago, and then sold it to Sicyon, and now they transitioned the platform into Connectively. Yeah. And within the past month, I think Peter Shankman has now, I think, by popular demand from people saying that they miss the old 3 emails a day situation, has now launched Hero. So help every reporter out. So not Harrow, but Hero.
Okay. I
think he's at 20,000 subs as of like today. And there are some huge publications that and journalists posting expert commentary there. So I think it will be really interesting to see what happens with Harrow, now Connectively, and Peter's new project, Hero, not Harrow, but Hero, in terms of actually where we'll be in the next coming years. It's hard to tell, really. I mean, AI is obviously changing everything. We need to see whether or not the major news publications are still going to be around and producing content. For as long as the journalists are producing content, then they're going to want experts to enhance their content. So we'll have to see. I think the demand and need for content isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon, and especially the demand for news, which is why I think the news sites will at least survive for the foreseeable future. And in which case, I think that journalists are going to be looking to source experts. The one thing, just to go back to what we said earlier, I think one of the changes that we will see in the immediate future is what you asked me in terms of journalists coming directly to sources that they'd previously used. So yeah, I think that's one of the things that we're already seeing now, and something which may continue as well.
Love that. And I tried searching Hero. So what's the website? Do you know, is it Hero?
I think you've got to spell it out. helpeveryreporterout.com.
Oh, okay. I'll look at it. helpeveryreporterout.com. Okay, got it. Love that. Okay, so we got one more question from the audience here from Pepper Brush, and because I'm coming down to my last question here too, because we're coming close to time. What do you recommend to keep an eye on for PR? What is the best way to set up alerts for such hashtags? So,
keep an eye on it. If he means like alerts for
I'm
what,
thinking
potential news stories, like
it got cut out. So I think apart from Twitter, Knowledge Bomb. He loved that comment of
apart from
what
Twitter,
do you what do you recommend to keep an eye out on for PR? What's the best way to set up alerts for such hashtags and?
Okay, yeah. So you can set them up natively in Twitter, but if he's talking about outside of Twitter, LinkedIn as well, you'll see journalists post source requests on LinkedIn. There's a platform called Media Matchmaker. That's like one of these tweet aggregator platforms that will sort of scour all of the tweets, and then you'll get alerts for the journalists that are sourcing. If you just type in tweet or like journo request platform, then you'll see some of the there's quite a few actually, but you'll see. You can also build we build like an automation scraper, so we pull stuff into Airtable when Twitter picks stuff up. If you want to do something like more technical, you can do that as well.
Ooh, love that, guys. And if you are like want to build your own things, there's something called make.com where you can actually do a lot of scraping, stuff like that. So check that out. Check out last episodes if you want to learn more about that. Or no, 2 episodes ago. But okay, so I'm coming down to my last question, or 2 last questions. So for those that want to dive deeper, what are some resources? I mean, you shared a lot of resources here today, but I know you mentioned also you actually have a course on doing this, right? Or did I hear that right? I mean, how can how can people learn more about Connectively and master it?
We have a course, linkify.io/PR-request-masterclass. So that's where we teach you exactly how to do it the way that we do it. If you could go to linkify.io, join our mailing list as well. Okay. I'll post if I've done presentations or anything, I post everything there. We try and give away as much as possible because I think the only difference between doing it yourself and using us is time. So if you've got budget and you haven't got the time, it is really, really time intensive. So that's why people would hire us. I think it is perfectly doable to do yourself. And if you are an expert yourself as well, then you can be absolutely crushing this sort of link building. But also, follow me on Twitter as well, linkify_. I give a lot of information out on there as well. I also give shout outs for domains we've recently blacklisted every now and again. So you can delete them off the list of places to pitch. And practice as well. Just practice. You'll get as much information from doing it and failing and then winning your first link and getting that buzz and then doing it again and getting the second one as you will from, once you've learned a bit, go out and just do it. Just try.
Love that. And the last question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here is if someone wants to become an SEO professional themselves or get into the SEO game, what would your advice be to them?
I would say pick something niche. Okay. Pick something that you have a look at the different services and the different things that are involved in SEO. And whether it's keyword research or internal linking or, any of the facets of SEO, anything within SEO, if there's something that really interests you, then try and get really good at that. Practice it yourself on your own site, on a few test sites. You need to put some investment in, but it's not expensive. And the biggest investment is time. So you can get a cheap site, it's just hosting and domain registration and whatnot, and produce some content. Look at all the YouTube videos on producing content in a smart way with AI, human editing. Get some test sites up and then pick something super, super niche and specific and get really good at it. Build a name for yourself around that on social, like Twitter, LinkedIn. Pick one platform, start with it, start engaging with people, and then offer what you can do for free to people that have got a big voice in the space, and then build your brand and your business around doing one thing really, really well, and then you can grow and leverage other opportunities after that.
Ooh, love that. Thank you so much. All right, so that concludes our episode here. I mean, can you hold on for one quick second while I sign off here? Hold on for one quick second. All right, guys. That concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to visit our sponsors, SEOnitro.com and search-intelligence.co.uk. Until next time, I will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, cause the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show, let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!